Hey guys, my name is Yasmina, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to do a series review of one of my new favorite YA fantasy series, and that is Shadow of the Fox. Alright, so Shadow of the Fox is a trilogy, a YA fantasy trilogy. The first book is Shadow of the Fox, then we have Soul of the Sword, and the finale is called Night of the Dragon. And I just recently finished the third book, Night of the Dragon. It also recently came out, and this is now one of my favorite fantasy series. So let's talk about it. Oh, it blocks Ari in the background, but that's okay. That picture is relevant. Let me tell you why. So, Shadow of the Fox is a fantasy series inspired by Japanese mythology. And we follow a main character called Yumeko, who is a kitsune. So she is pretty much a fox. So she is not human, and she can hide her fox appearance. So she can hide her fluffy ears and fluffy tail if she wants to. In the first book we follow Yumeko, who is an orphaned kitsune. She is raised by monks in the monastery. She is a very adventurous, playful character, but she yearns for something more. She yearns to get out of the monastery and explore the world one day, and she also wants to know where she came from, because she was an orphan. She was left at the doorstep of this monastery, and these monks kindly took her in and raised her. But at the same time, they have suppressed her magic. They are aware that she has magic, but they have suppressed her because fox magic can be dangerous, and she's very young, she's 16, and she might not know how to control it, and so they don't really let her use her magic powers at all at this monastery. Okay, so in this world, every 1,000 years, the great kami dragon grants one impossible wish to whoever summons this dragon. They will make anything possible, and to summon this dragon, you use this scroll, the Scroll of 1,000 Prayers. Last time this was used, 1,000 years ago, it created a lot of damage to this world and a lot of evil. So people are constantly searching for this scroll because the next chance to summon the Kami dragon is drawing close. But the last person who used this power ripped apart the scroll into 3 pieces and hid these pieces throughout the land so that it makes it harder for the next person to find and summon the dragon and for the dragon to grant their wish, because most people use it for evil. So one piece of the scroll is hidden at the monastery that Yumeko grows up at, and in the beginning of the first book there is an attack on the monastery. The monastery is burned to the ground, and Yumeko has to flee carrying this part of the scroll because that is the most important thing that monastery was holding. So Yumeko flees, and she tries to take the scroll to a different location. Now, there are many people in this world who are trying to get their hands on the scroll, or the pieces of the scroll, of course. One of these people is Tatsumi. Tatsumi is a samurai, he's an assassin, and he is sent to the temple to retrieve the part of the scroll for someone else, for the clan that he serves. Yumeko and Tatsumi meet ways after the monastery is burnt to the ground, and Yumeko promises to help Tatsumi find the piece of the scroll if Tatsumi protects her on her journey, because she is young and afraid and she doesn't know how to use her abilities, and so the thought of this long, dangerous quest throughout the lands to where she needs to take the scroll, you know, she thinks she cannot survive that alone, and so she meets Tatsumi, who is this trained assassin. He's very powerful, he knows how to fight. Yumeko has seen this, and so she bargains with him so that if he protects her on this journey, she can help him retrieve the scroll. Now, Yumeko is hiding the scroll, of course, so she is lying to him. So basically, in the first book, we follow this quest of Yumeko and Tatsumi on this long journey of getting the scroll to a different location, and obviously the deceit that Yumeko is hiding the scroll, and every step of the way there are people trying to kill them because someone has let out that Yumeko is hiding the scroll, or the kitsune that was once at this temple is hiding the scroll, and so this creatures and assassins at every corner, and that's something that transcends this whole series. Is there is so much action in this series, you cannot breathe. Every corner of the way there are someone trying to attack them, there are creatures, there are everything is just, they're just constantly in a fight to the death, and it's great. So I like to compare the series to an anime. It's so fast-paced, and like I said, like at every corner someone is trying to kill them. And it never, for some reason, it never gets boring. That's another thing, because there's always something interesting about the encounter, whether it's a new mythological creature that is interesting to learn about, or some other assassin from a different part of the world, and you just get to learn the world through these sort of encounters, and it's so much fun. So I like to imagine it as Naruto, because I feel like Naruto has this feel of they always are going on a quest and they're constantly being attacked by other shinobi or other creatures, and that's kind of the same thing. It's just so full of mischief and adventure, and this is just the stuff that I love to read. I love these sort of adventure stories, and when there's a group of characters that just go on a quest and they just encounter a lot of bad things along the way that they have to navigate and survive through, and this just does it perfectly. And in the second and the third book we meet more characters. So in the first book it's only Yumeko and Tatsumi, but then in the second and third book Yumeko is joined by a few more people who are banding with her to protect the scroll further, and those characters are fantastic as well. I absolutely love these characters. I think Yumeko is a fantastic main character as well. I really liked her perspective. She is naive, you know, she's a young girl, she's naive, she's learning to control her magic, her kitsune abilities, and we get to see that throughout the book. Throughout the series, and she gets more and more powerful. And Tatsumi as well is a very brooding type of character who, because he was trained to be this steel, you know, he has no emotions in the beginning, but again, throughout the series we see his character grow and change, and he becomes softer. I'll just say that. But at the same time, yeah, there's just so many things that happen. Oh my god. But I absolutely loved the whole veil of mythology surrounding the series. It's just, we got to see so many cool things that I absolutely love reading about. There is a touch of romance going on throughout the series, obviously between Yumeko and Tatsumi, but it's very slight, and it is very slow burn type of romance. So, you know, if that's not your thing, don't worry too much about that, because I know that's kind of a prevalent plot, like subplot in YA fantasy, but while it is present, it's very subtle and it's not focused upon very much. Yeah. I really enjoyed that aspect as well. So yeah, I don't want to give any spoilers away because I really want you to read the series. You can probably read it really fast now that all 3 books are out. They are pretty fast to read. Like I said, it's like non-stop action, so you don't really get to be bored with this series. It'll be a very satisfying read, let me tell you. The 3rd book, it's one of the most satisfying endings to a series I've read. I do feel like it did a fantastic job at tying everything together and making it a satisfying conclusion to the series. So my favorite book in the series is really hard to tell. I think it's either the 2nd or the 3rd, but I think I'm gonna go with the 2nd. I just feel like it was the most interesting. We saw the most interesting sort of encounters and creatures along the way, and it had a more interesting final battle, in my opinion. But all of the books were amazing. I gave the 1st book 4 stars, and I gave the 2nd and the 3rd book 5 stars. I love it. I just love it. So if you're looking for a really fun, fast-paced fantasy series inspired by Japanese mythology, this is the one. And I'm really sad that it's over. I was kind of hoping there would be more, but obviously the story concluded in such a beautiful way, in such a perfect way that, of course, there cannot be more of the story, but I'm kind of hoping that Julie Kagawa will make a different series in the same world, maybe, because the world changed at the end of the series, and, you know, there is a room for there to be more stories in this world following different characters, so maybe I can hope. I'm totally speculating. I have no idea if there's any plans for that, but this world was so well done that I kind of feel like I want more of it. It was one of my favorite parts of the series, just the world building I think was really cool. So there you have it, that was my spoiler-free review of the Shadow of the Fox series. I really enjoyed the series so much, you guys. I absolutely love it. I totally recommend it. Also, do let me know if you have any more recommendations of fantasy inspired by Japanese culture and mythology. I know of a few myself and I have a few on my bookshelf, but I am always looking for more. So if you have any good recommendations, do leave them in the comment section below. And of course, do let me know if you've read the series, what you guys thought about it. And also, because I got the first book in a unicorn crate, the first book is signed by the author. It's a book plate, and I also have a letter from her that says, "Dear Unicorn Crate reader, thank you so much for choosing Shadow of the Fox. I had so much fun writing this book because it features my favorite Japanese myth, the kitsune. Hope you have as much fun reading it as I did writing it." Totally did, and you can totally tell that she had fun writing it, because come on, who wouldn't have fun writing something like this? I am writing something like this. I am writing a Japanese inspired fantasy. I've started writing that way before I started reading these books. So when I first got this book in the Unicorn Crate unboxing, I will leave that video up in the cards because I think that's fun to watch after I've read the series, because my immediate reaction to this, to seeing this, was, yes, this is so my thing. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Do leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and I will leave more links to more recommendations for me at the end of this video. Yeah, obviously I'll leave links to the books as well in the description if you're interested in picking them up, but otherwise I hope you have a great day and I'll see you next time. Bye!